Welcome to a special edition of I'm Just Saying, where we are talking to our young panelists on when is it time to leave the nest. And we have with us Kara, who is 20 years old and currently living at home. We have Tasha Renee, who's 23, soon to be 24, and she's living on her own. We have Nick, who is 18 and currently living with his mother, and we have Chris, who is 21 and living in his parents' home. All right, let's jump right in.
Okay, first of all, thank you all for joining us and agreeing to take part in this important discussion.
No problem, man. No problem. No problem.
Especially in the morning, some of you are yawning and stretching, so thank you.
So I guess we're just gonna jump right in with questions, and basically when should a child leave the nest, or when should they start contributing? So we're just gonna ask you, how do you feel about that? When do you think it's time for a child to actually get up from under their parents or leave the nest? Or when do you think that it's time for you, if you're at the home, to start paying rent, working on bills, or whatever?
If at all, because
I was going to say, do you all think that if you're living at home that you should contribute to the household?
I don't think that we should have to pay rent if we're in school and we're working. I feel like if you're in school, you're trying to better yourself, so you won't, once you do get out on your own, you won't have to come back. Because I know that's usually the issue. Like my mom, when she moved out, she had to go back to her parents' house to because she wasn't ready for real. So I'm trying to set myself up to not do that. Because once I'm out, I want to be out. So I don't feel like we should have to pay rent. Like, that's what the parents for.
Okay. So no rent, but what about any contribution at all?
I mean, I pay my car insurance. I pay.
Wait, on your car?
on the car.
Yeah, on my car. I put gas in my car. I mean, I'm pretty self-sufficient besides the rent.
And utilities, but okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I feel like that's honestly what the parent is supposed to do.
Okay.
You're supposed to facilitate for me until I can do for myself.
So regardless of how long that is,
I mean,
as long as you're working or going to school.
Correct.
One of you others on the panel, jump in.
What I would say, like, a good time to start contributing, I would probably be like, I feel like when you graduate high school, you should start. Well, when you hit 18, you should start, because legally you're an adult. But like, I agree with the whole, if you like in school and working, but I feel like you should like contribute something. Maybe not pay like a full like bill or whatever you gotta do there, but if they need help, like we was talking about the other day, if you need something from the grocery store and I'm out, run ahead and go pick that up, stuff like that. Help around the house, like do chores, even though you're still older, but like go ahead and put dishes away or take the trash out, walk the dogs if you got pets or anything like that. Little stuff like that, just to contribute basically. And I feel like the limit though should be after you have, I would say 4 to 5 years so you can get your bachelor's degree. I wouldn't like have nobody over 22, 23, 24 still at home. I feel like that's too old. Yeah, like after you I would give you that 4 to 5 years. Because 5 is sometimes take 5 years to get a bachelor's degree. So after that time, it's time to go. Yeah.
Any of the other guests want to chime in on that question?
So I'm gonna go ahead and say, I like they said, about 18. When you hit 18, you legally grown, you legally adult, and you should be, helping out more than you was. If you wasn't already helping out, you definitely should start helping out. And it don't gotta be like he said. You ain't gotta start paying bills or nothing. But like he said, go out and get some groceries or give your mom some money to go towards some bills or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Or picking up water and stuff like that. If your mom drink a lot of water, the family drink a lot of water, the sign, that's it,
One thing I will say, what Kara said, even though on the surface to a lot of parents, it might not look like you're contributing to the house, when you do take care of your own insurance and that really does help too, because the parent, instead of paying for your insurance and your gas and stuff, you're doing that, so that allows them to put that money to something else. So actually, I think that does contribute.
It does.
Kara, I have a question. One thing that you said is, and I commend the fact that you said, you want to position yourself so that you don't have to come back home once you leave. Is there a limit to that? What if it takes until you're 27? What if you're in school at 28? Do you feel the same? That you shouldn't until you are ready. When to say when?
I think it should be within reason. 27, it's like, no, you're completely wrong. You need to go and get you some business and get out the house. But I would say 24, 25 at the max. But 27, you probably got kids by 27. Like, I don't think that's
30.
right. Like, I don't think that's good. And as far as paying rent, like, if some people do feel it's okay for the child to pay rent, because even if you do pay rent, that house is still not yours. That's still your parents' house.
Right.
You still can't do what you want to do.
Right.
And I feel like if parents want you to pay rent, okay, well, half of this is mine now.
Right.
And you have to respect the people that I bring in and out. But even still, you can't do what you want to do because it's still your parents' house and you can't disrespect
There are still going to be limits that you even have.
Exactly. So I feel like if I'm going to have to pay rent, I'll move out with a friend.
Let me just make the point too that we as parents all recognize, and hopefully you all as young adults do, that when you hit 18, there's no magic dust that's sprinkled on you and all of a sudden you now are responsible and you now have money. And we get that. But we do, I think our level of expectation shifts.
I know what you're saying.
So what are your current situations now with your parents? What do they expect of you? What are you doing? What's the battle at home, if there's any?
And do you feel that it's fair or unfair?
What is it? Carrot chuckling.
It's always a battle in my house. It's like, as soon as you wake up in the morning, everybody going at it because my mom, for like 2 months straight, every weekend I was kicked out the house because we just argued that bad because she felt like I didn't do what I was supposed to do in the house. Even though I felt that I was doing what I was supposed to. She was like, I come in the house to dish and I didn't. Okay, well. I believe that a closed mouth don't get fed. If you don't tell me what to do, I don't know how you expect me to read your mind.
I second that.
She just
So then when you come in the house, it's something.
So you're saying you can't see?
Okay, yes, I can. Yes, I can condition that. But I work just like you do. I get tired just like you do. Yes, your responsibilities and what you deal with is a lot more than what I do. But sometimes y'all fail to realize that we go through stuff too. Just because we're younger does not mean it's affected.
You know what? I'm gonna give you that. You're right. I'm gonna give you that.
That seems to be the issue in my household.
Okay.
So-and-so not doing this, so-and-so not doing that, and then we all get into this argument, then that's when it comes, if you can do what I want you to do, or get out, or pay rent. It's like, if you want me to do something, tell me before, not when you get mad.
Okay.
And Tasha Renee, we know that you're not in the home anymore, but were there any battles when you were?
There was, because I'm gonna be honest, I ain't do nothing around that house.
Okay.
Nothing, and that was a big house for my parents to be taking care of it. So my dad would empty the dishwasher. The only thing I did was laundry, and I only did my own. So I understand now where my parents come from, because I never kept my room clean, never kept my bathroom clean, and I barely ever did dishes. I just didn't do nothing around the house.
You
my
ate
parents
though?
did. I did.
But can you speak to that? Like when you were there and weren't doing it, was it because kind of what Kara said, that I work and I have things going on too, or was it because this is their house, it's their job? Like, why wouldn't you?
It's not because it was their job. I just made up excuses. Like, I just got off work. I'm tired.
Okay.
And it really wasn't. I would just sit around and watch TV.
Okay.
Because you still found time to go out and
Yes,
stuff
I did.
all the time.
All the stuff that
hang
was
with your
important
friends.
to me, I found time for.
Very honest. Very honest.
Keeping the house clean at that time was not important to me.
not that
Unless
important.
I had a friend coming over, then I'll clean up in 10 minutes.
Right.
That house would be spotless.
So do you guys feel a sense of entitlement in the situation, being that you're the child and you feel like the parent should, like, you're my parent, this is what your job is to do this, or do you
Yeah,
feel
to
some
a
sort of
certain
entitlement?
extent, like to a certain age, like everybody was saying, like, you know what I'm saying, to a certain extent, like, you know, I don't expect you to put gas in my car and put clothes on my back and, you know what I'm saying, do all that extra stuff that you did when I was a minor. But you know what I'm saying. But it's like as soon as I turn 18, it don't gotta be like, you know what I'm saying. You gotta do this, that, and that, and that, and that. If not, you out. You know what I'm saying. Like I feel like, you know what I'm saying. We should like.
What do you say, like more transition into
yeah,
a
more,
kind
yeah,
of
it gotta be
thing?
a smoother
Okay.
transition into adulthood in my eyes. You know what I'm saying.
Okay.
And that's that.
But can I ask you this though? Do you think that there is somewhat a double standard? Because what I find with young adults is they want to be grown when they want to be grown, you know, on the things that are convenient for them, but they want to revert back to childhood in a sense when the they want all of the rights but none of the responsibilities.
Can I help out with that question? I feel like that go both ways too, because parents do it too. They treat you like an adult one minute or say, "Oh, you grown and all this yada yada," but then go watch TV in the living room. So I mean, parents do it too. They put you too old and they put a young thing too. So it go both ways, really.
It's all nothing to do.
But that would be a yes.
Yeah, that would yes.
What was it?
She said, "Is it a double standard?"
Do you all feel that you kind of play both? Okay.
Yeah.
But on both ends.
It goes on both ends.
Okay.
So did any of y'all have to work and go to school and try to contribute half or whatever?
In our household, and we're sisters that came out close at the same time. Katika's our sister, but she was behind us. But the way it was for us two, when it was either you're going to work and contribute or you're going away to school. And we both went away to school. When we both came home from school over the summers, we were expected to work and do something. When we were in college, my first year, her second year, I had a car that my aunt co-signed in her name, but I paid the car note, the insurance and all that, like you do. But we were responsible for our own bills. Unfortunately, we both got in a lot of trouble credit card wise. A lot of debt in college, so we had to pay our own debts and stuff like that. But it was still in the summers when we came home, we weren't expected to contribute financially. But my mom and my dad made it that our job is to take care of this house. Your job is to contribute in the way that you can contribute. My parents were like, you can't take care of me financially, but you're going to do chores. Even as an adult, we had chores and stuff to do when we came home in the summers, and we had to get jobs in the summers to sustain our own debts. Shortly after college, we got out on our own.
Because let it be made clear, to your point, you're all young adults, and the fact is you can't contribute financially to the home in the way that it needs to be taken care of. But you can do what needs to be done. And quite honestly, I kind of feel that it's a cop that you need to speak up if you want me to do something. Since everyone is, since everyone is an adult, everyone can see when the trash needs to be taken out. Everyone can see when the, when the dishes need to be done, or when the dishwasher needs to be loaded or unloaded, or, or whatever. So I think with, greater, I think comes greater responsibility.
What was it for you two as young adults in your situation?
With my mother, it was never said that I had to do anything, or it was never required of me to pay any bills. But because it was just me and my mom, and it might be a little bit of difference with that, I wanted to.
Okay.
So
you wanted to take something off of her.
it was never told to me that I had to. It was never told to me that I must. But I wanted to.
Okay.
So I would automatically with my paycheck, did you need me to pay? What do you need? Or, or did things like that, just because I felt like it was just us.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if that's the reason, or if I would have been brought up with both my mom and my dad, if it would have been different. But that's just kind of what it was. Now, where we always clashed was the rules thing.
Oh, okay.
Well, you need to be in by a certain time. Well, okay, I could see like not walking in when the sun come up, but why are you still giving me a 1 o'clock? I'm like 19. I don't want, like, I'm grown. Like, that's where our battle came in.
Okay.
But now as a parent, I can kind of see her point.
You see.
You know what I'm saying? Where I couldn't see it then, I can see the point now. Like, this is my house. You're not going to be walking in when you want to, and if you do, then if you got all these responsibilities and come in anytime and all that, then go get your own. So
and even with that, my daughter, I have an 18-year-old, and she's not here. Shout out to Kristen.
Shout out to my cuz.
But her thing is, why do I still have? And I would be interested to know, aside from what you guys' parents' rules are with that, or what yours were, Tasha, when you were still there, Tasha Renee. But But my thing with my daughter as a parent, her whole thing, I'm graduated high school, I'm in college. Why do I still have a curfew? And my son, he's 21, he basically does not. But there's a cutoff. Once we lock our doors, an alarm goes off and we have to get out, we have to come and unlock, like physically unlock it and stuff. They, even though they have keys, they can't get in once we physically put the other locks on. You're not disrupting my night like that because I have to get up and go to work. So Kristen will text, she'll say, Mom, I'm not going to be in by 2, so I'm just staying over Raylan's or whoever. And that's fine. Christopher is not usually an issue because he doesn't go out like that. But it's not just a curfew because I'm grown or this is my house. It's just with my daughter, I worry about her being out there more.
Right.
With my son, I really, and I guess it's a double standard with that, but I really don't worry about him to the level that I worry about a female being out there. I think she could be a victim of things easier. So that's that. But I'd love to hear you guys' responses on the curfew thing if that's an issue.
I mean, I feel the curfew thing, you know what I'm saying? It disrupt the sleeping, you know, you gotta get up. But I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't really go out too much, you know what I'm saying? I don't like the clubs.
What is your curfew?
I don't know. Just whenever she set the alarm and locked the doors, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be.
So if it's like
she
she
said
said at 11 during the week and 2:30 for the weekend.
It's an early time that she expect us to be in. Like, I mean, but I don't really trip on it because I don't really be out like that. If I did, it probably would be a problem with me because it's just like, you know, dang, like I gotta be home by 11, like right? Just because you in the bed, like, you know, that's what I'm saying, like.
And Chris is like, hey,
But our
okay, I'm
situation,
not mad. If you don't like it, just get your own.
just lay your head somewhere else. That's okay.
And but you know what I'm saying. Then with that, you know what I'm saying. Like one time I was like, it was like 11:15, and she sent me a text like, wherever you at, you need to stay there. I'm sitting in my girlfriend's driveway. I'm like, it's 11:50. I text her back. It's 11 o'clock. Like,
Oh my God.
like,
Okay, can I respond to that?
go ahead.
The issue is not the curfew.
Okay.
The issue is I have a ridiculous time falling asleep.
Right.
And it takes me about 2 hours to fall asleep. Once I fall asleep, the barking dog next door, a car going down the street, somebody walking down, anything wakes me up because I'm such a light sleeper. And so because of that, like because I have the alarm set and all that, it disrupts my sleep. I have to get up. I tell them all the time, I'm not on summer break. I didn't graduate, last month. I have to get up and go to work early. And so just be respectful of that. Like, I don't expect you to be in at 11. I don't
But you do.
Well,
if we not in by 11, we don't come in, right?
That's not true.
Or
And
whenever
in the
you
morning,
go
you
out.
gotta
That's not
attitude
true.
with us because we ain't been out
Right,
home.
right.
So then we gotta deal with
no,
y'all.
yeah.
Y'all trying to cuss us out because, where was you? Why ain't you come home?
I never had to do that.
Okay.
But in the morning, if I did come in late, she would have a problem. But I ain't never stayed nowhere else because I'm not about to. I just can't just like, hey, can I stay at y'all house? My mom ain't gonna let me in because it's 11 o'clock. She ain't gonna let me in.
And here's the thing: when it's 11 like that you have come back late like that before. Usually the issue is not with you; it's with your brother, and it's into 1:30.
Like, if it take you 2 hours to fall asleep, I really got your 1:50.
You better start making your way back at 9, so you'll be here by 11:15.
You better take you some NyQuil.
I bet I won't.
Tasha Renee, did you have a curfew? Did you come in when you
Gonna
had
say
to
some
be
earplugs. He trying to cry.
When I was, before I moved out, 19, when I was dating, I would be at my boyfriend's house all night. My mom would be like, Tasha, you're a female, just like Kristen. And so, in that circumstance, I would have to be home at 11:30. And 11:31, my mother would call me, and she'd be like, Tasha, where are you? I'm like, I'm in the driveway, let me get in the house. And so, but after I turned 21, I went out a lot, and my parents didn't like it, but they didn't really say anything. And then I started to be a little bit more responsible, and I stopped going out about 2 years later after my party stage. That was only like last year. So I stopped going out.
But when did you come in? When you were going out?
Oh, like 4.
Ooh!
I have to go to IHOP and stuff afterwards.
No,
Wow. You might as well stay
you might as well stay at IHOP
until I get up and go to
Get you
work.
some food. Gotta
Kara
get that food,
is
man.
coming in an issue for you, or has it been with you and your mom?
Not really. She just wants to know what you're doing, where you at.
Oh,
As
okay.
long as if I'm like out with my friends or something, I don't really go out, but like I
Okay.
go to like a friend's house.
Right.
All
Okay.
my friends have their own houses.
Okay.
So I like be at a friend's house and she's like, where you at? Like, and I'll text like, I'm at so and so's house. And,
Okay.
Or if we leaving from there, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to so and so's now.
Okay.
Or yeah, there's never really been an issue unless we had to switch out the cars because
Okay.
we should have a shared driveway.
Okay.
So we have to switch the cars. I come in.
So you can
Well, she
come
did
in
say
now.
don't beat the
Don't let the sun beat you.
home.
Okay.
So,
Okay. So no issue.
That's true.
Okay.
Well, that's until
6, 7.
right. Like the latest time came in, it's like 3:30, but she was just like, I don't know. I guess she said she was up waiting. I think she was in there asleep.
She was up waiting. Trust me.
I
She
mean,
probably
She
was.
slept.
Even
She's
if
not
she was
off,
sleeping,
and then
she-
woke up.
She was up waiting. She was in and out of sleep.
All right. Well, this has been very eventful.
Great.
Audience, thank you for tuning in today. And due to the length of this awesome conversation, please tune in next week as we continue our talk with our panelists on when to say when.
My name's Jenny, and I'm just saying, like, always look left and then right before you cross the street.
I'm Freddie Iverson, and I'm just saying, don't worry about what everybody else is saying.
Hello, my name is Juan Pablo, and I'm just saying, slow your roll, sister.
I'll keep time. Go. Take 3.
Wait a minute, the one that be the most off time talking about I'm gonna keep time.
Right, Chris.
Be on time.
You do.
Yes.
You do.
I need you to keep time.
Take 3.
I'm in 7 minutes or less. No.
7 minutes.
You gotta start.
Yo, script.
Tasha
Nick.
Renee.
Nick.
He'll be
Michael.
Michael.
I don't want people to know
You
my
want that
real
as one
name.
name?
You want the voice, the deep throat voice too?
Yeah, if you could do that.
No.
Blur my face out.
Okay, are we ready?
Y'all
Just don't understand.
You gotta start.
Hello. And what? Oh,
We didn't miss. It's no limit.
Oh, alright.
Now, I'm just saying, so take
Tell her
1.
to get her phone.
Yeah.
Shout out Young Skrill.
You just keep the
OG7,
camera
hit me up
rolling,
on the
but, you know,
Xbox.
She's talking about you got the same clothes.
Xbox. Shout out Young Skrill. Hold up, I got one more shout out. Shout out, look, hit me up on Xbox Live on that Madden. If you're trying to get beat, it's Young Skrill OG7. It's Xbox Live. If you're trying to get beat, just hit me up. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's that.
Well, thank you.
Thanks.
So you,
Yeah, you
okay. Thank you.